Hey guys, Mr. Wynn here, talking about Learning Target 5. Learning Target 5 states, I can describe the function, structure, and importance of proteins. Number 1, it says, how are proteins formed? Give a brief description of each component. So I've already outlined the different components of a protein. Now the first component of a protein is an amino acid. So if you can say that's the first component, you can already conclude that the amino acid is the monomer of a protein. Now, after an amino acid, you have a dipeptide, which is two amino acids attached to one another. Now the two amino acids are going to be connected by a peptide bond. So that's another description that you can include with your dipeptide. Now with your polypeptide, you're going to have a long chain of amino acids. And then your last component is a protein. Now the protein is going to have two or more polypeptides. So as you can see here, if we were to build up a protein, we would first need amino acids, and two amino acids make up a dipeptide. We have several chains, or if we have long chain of amino acid, we have a polypeptide, and then if we have several chains of amino acids, we have a protein. Now for number 2, list 3 functions of a protein and give a brief description. So the first one that I talk about is hormones. So hormones are chemical messengers, and an example of a hormone is a growth hormone. The second description, or the second function of a protein, is defense. Now, proteins can be used in order to fight cancer cells. And the last thing is transport. Now, in our blood, we need to be able to transport nutrients, and we need to be able to transport oxygen. Now, we're specifically talking about oxygen whenever we talk about this protein, which is hemoglobin. Now, hemoglobin is a protein that is able to attach to different atoms of oxygen and allow the blood to bind onto these oxygen atoms and to be able to transport these oxygen atoms to all different parts of your body. Draw an amino acid. So this is a picture of an amino acid. Now some of you guys refer to this amino acid as the running man, which again, I don't see that, guys, but whatever helps you learn. So this amino acid is made up of 2 functional groups. So the first functional group that we see is your NH2. Now this functional group is called an amine group. The second functional group is a carboxyl group. And then we also have R groups, and we have a hydrogen group. Now, the amine group is what makes these organic molecules very unique compared to carbohydrates and compared to lipids. So, with this amino acid, the difference that we have in terms of structure is the N. So if you have an N in your organic molecule, it's either going to be a nucleic acid or an amino acid. So the easiest way to determine whether or not it is a amino acid or if it's a nucleic acid is by looking at this R group. So this R group is what is going to differentiate the different types of amino acids. So again, whenever we're talking about the structural difference, we're looking at these 2 functional groups here, the carboxyl group and the amine group. Now with the carbohydrates, their general chemical structure is going to be your C6H12O6. So, notice that this is C, H, and O. Okay? Whereas proteins are C, H, O, and N. So, the difference between these structures is going to be that N. Now, number 5, it states how many monomers of proteins are there and how many monomers of carbohydrates are there. So, if you recall, a monomer of a carbohydrate is a monosaccharide. So, if we were to build up carbohydrates, we would start with a monosaccharide. So, for instance, if we have glucose and we have fructose, that's going to make sucrose. If we have galactose and we have glucose, that's going to make lactose. So, both of those are different types of disaccharides, and they're built up by monosaccharides. And so if you notice that there are going to be 3 different types of monosaccharides. Now, there are 20 types of amino acids. So again, those 20 different types of amino acids are going to differ based off of this R group. Alright guys, so if you have any questions about Learning Target 5, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching.